Hey guys, Ojama here. Today we have Scruff showing off his raccoon deck profile. So here's Scruff, he'll take it away.
Okay, thanks guys. Firstly, shout out to Ojama Kings for inviting me to Ojama country. I'll be doing my Baby Raccoon deck profile. Usually I run a 45 card deck, but for now I've got a 40 card deck. I will explain later as I'm explaining the deck exactly what I use for what. I'll also do a few plays that I do with the cards after the deck profile. So I'll get into the deck profile to start with. To start with monsters, I use 3 Baby Raccoon Ponpoko. Most of the monsters here are very weak, but the effects rely around work with the Exceed number 64. This just lets you take a level 2 from your deck and set it face down, which leads into the play with Baby Raccoon Tantan. It's got a flip effect. When it's flipped over, you can special summon 1 level 2 beast type monster from your deck. This works perfect with Ponpoko because Ponpoko sets this. Next we have Kalantosa. This effect is when it's special summoned by a beast type, it lets you pop a card on the field. So generally Tantan is what brings it out and you can destroy something on the field. I also run 3 Numble Momanga. I don't usually set cards in this deck, but this is perfect for baiting someone out. You set this. If Momonga goes to the graveyard, you can special summon up to 2 Nimble Momongas from your deck in face down defense position. And each time Nimble Momonga is sent by battle to the grave, you gain 1,000 life points. So it's perfect for baiting people and also special summoning your level 2s. I also run 2 Raiko, Hunter of Blackthorn Hunter. When it's flipped, you can destroy 1 card in the field. Also good for baiting people. You can also use this effect by special summoning it to Tantan's effect. And last beast type that I run, 2 Uniflora. Effect, if there's only beast types in my grave, I can tribute this card and either special summon a beast type from my grave or special summon a beast type from my hand. It's very helpful for Kalantosa because then you can destroy another card on the field. Other monsters I run is Junk Synchron. This helps, it's a tuner, so it helps bring out Junk Warrior, as you'll see later on, which is very helpful with how the deck runs. Also, it lets you summon a level 2 or lower, since all the other monsters are level 2, except for Uniflora, which is level 1. It's very helpful for special summoning from your deck. From your graveyard, sorry. Okay, that's for the monsters. For your spells, probably the most important spell in this deck is Obedient School. It sets up the most important play of the deck. It lets you special summon 3 level 2 monsters, 3 level 2 beast types from your deck, all with different names. So usually for this play you bring out Ponpoko, Tantan and Kalantosa, and then you just normal summon another level 2 from your hand, and then you get your 2 Exceeds onto the field. Very, very important for this deck. It took me a while to get this card, which is very, very helpful now. I run 2 of the field spell Closed Forest. With this deck, when you summon the Exceed for this deck, it also allows you to get tokens. Those tokens take the highest attack that's on the field. Closed Forest just boosts the attack of the monster, so even if you do take the highest attack of a monster, you don't ever have to sacrifice your monster when you attack if you have Closed Forest on the field, because it gives you that slight boost to overpower other monsters on the field. I run 2 A's Rock Sunrise. Generally, people either try to banish or send the Exceed from this deck to your hand. If by some reason it does go to the graveyard, this is usually helpful for bringing it out, because this lets you special summon a level 2. And it also helps you with the fact that it decreases the attack of all other monsters on the field by 200. So it's very helpful for that, depending on the amount of monsters in your grave. Okay. Aside from that, I run 1 MSC. I don't run any more for the simple reason is Kalantosa does most of my destruction. So I don't really need another MST. And I run a Dark Hole. Dark Hole is helpful because if I have 2 of my Exceed on the field, I can destroy everything on the field and my Exceed is safe. That's it for the spells. For the trap cards, I run 2 Token Stampede. Token Stampede's effect is tokens can't be destroyed by battle, and they gain 1,000 attack. This also helps just boost tokens attack, so if you do need to attack someone, you don't have to worry about suiciding a token. I run 2 Waboku. for protection of my monsters and not to take battle damage. 2 Threatening Roar for protection, and 2 Thunder Ruler for protection. The problem with this deck, as I said earlier on, is that the attacks are very low, so you have to have this protection to stop them from dying, so you can lead into XE plays. I have 1 Fiendish Chain, just in case. Generally, this deck does play fast enough to do a lot of destruction before anything else comes out, but this is there just in case. And then more staples, you have Torrential Tribute, because you can clear the field while being protected by the Exceed's effect. You have 1 Compulsory Evacuation, send card back to your hand, and your Solemn Warning. Important staples. Okay, now to the Exceeds. The most important Exceed for this deck and what the deck is based on is your number 64, Ronin Raccoon Sandayu. Its effect is while there's another beast type on the field, it can't be destroyed by card effects or by battle. Essentially, you get 2 on the field, they protect each other, and hopefully it's a quick win from there. The other effect is you can detach 1 Exceed material from this, send it to the graveyard, and it special summons a token that takes on the highest attack on the field. So even though this card has a low attack of 1000, you can easily copy the attack of another high level monster or high attack monster on the field, and with the help of Closed Forest or with the help of Token Stampede, you can overpower your opponent's monsters. As I said, this is the most important monster in the deck, because once it's on the field, you protect yourself and you can do high damage thereafter. I run 2 Gachi Gachi Gentetsu. This is just for the increase in attack and defense. Defense is not a big issue, it just increases the attack a bit more. It's helpful for overpowering your opponent's monsters. I have 1 Herald of Pure Light. Just in case my Exceed does go to the grave, I can use Herald of Pure Light to bring it out of the grave, so that's helpful. I don't really need to get it out, because generally when this deck does play, it's able to do a lot of destruction when it needs to. 1 Daigatsu Phoenix, just in case. Detach and you can attack twice with it, just for finishing off sometimes. Have 1 Armored Kappa, just in case to protect my field. I very rarely run this though. It's just in case I need that extra protection. That's it for the Exceeds. Going on to the Synchros, I have 2 Junk Warriors. Junk Warriors take on the attack of all the level 2 or lower monsters on your side of the field and adds it to its own attack. It's very helpful since the tokens in this deck are level 1 beast types, so you can easily add the attack of those monsters to this guy when you summon. Very helpful for this deck. Usually you can have a very high attack and then you just detach again from your Exceed, and it gains an even higher attack if it copies Junk Warrior. Very, very helpful card. TJ Hyper Librarian, just in case I can't synchro summon Junk Warrior if it's in the grave or whatever, get this guy out. 2/4 attack is quite helpful. Also, I don't really run this card that often, but it's helpful now and then. Black Rose Dragon, it's a helpful Exceed. It's a bit harder to pull this off because I'll need Junk Warrior and 2 level 2 monsters, but when it's special summoned, you can destroy all cards on the field. It's helpful to summon this if you've got a lot of stuff blocking you on your opponent's side of the field, because your Ronin Raccoons just protect each other. So you can destroy everything on the field and still be left with your 2 tokens, with your 2 Exceeds, and it's very helpful from that way, just detach and attack. Because I have Closed Forest, I also run Ancient Fairy Dragon and Ancient Pixie Dragon, both 2/1 attack, 3000 defense. One lets you destroy your field card, gain 1000 life points and take a field card from your deck to your hand. The other just lets you destroy a monster on the field while there's a field card on the field. So they're both very helpful for certain situations. Also, don't generally get these guys out because Ronin Raccoon does all the damage he needs to do. And a very rare card to pull out is Mistworm, because I need to have 3 level 2s and my Junk Synchron, sorry. Pull this out and send 3 cards from the field to the owner's hand. So that's also quite helpful. Very difficult to pull it out, but it's quite helpful at most times. Onto my side deck. I would like to add Wind Up Kitten to this deck and a Safe Zone. I haven't managed to get a hold of those cards though, but those are the only extra cards I would possibly add to this deck. I feel everything else is quite consistent, so that's very helpful. In my side deck, I run 1 Uniflora just in case I need to have more of Talentoso's Destruction effect going on. This Hane to send cards back to the opponent's hand. Not that necessary, but it's here just as a help now and then. I have Redox, especially for the effect of special summoning a monster from the grave. That's why it's here, just in case people are able to Fiendish Chain my Ronin Raccoon and then send to the graveyard. This helps a lot. Because I have a lot of protection in my deck, I don't run Mirror Force that often. But if I'm getting swarmed and I have to destroy monsters, then I side out with this. 2 more Fiendish Chains, especially against 5 Fists. I know my brother did a shout out to me in his deck profile yesterday. I really hate 5 Fists. This helps against them. Bottomless Trap Hole. Again, staple, just helps a lot to remove a card from play. Oboku, just in case I need another one. The 2 more MSTs if they're heavily relying on back row and Kalantosa isn't fast enough to destroy them. That's helpful. 1 more Closed Forest in case they keep taking it out. 2 usually runs fine, just in case we have this one. And lastly, 1 more A's Rock Sunrise just to bring out more beasts if they keep getting destroyed. That's the deck profile. Just the last couple friends. This deck does use tokens, so we have our tokens just in case. So we don't have to use coins or anything else on the field. For a couple plays, I'll go on to that now. Those are the cards that I use in my deck. As I said, I would like to add Wind Up Kitten. It's a level 2 beast type which sends a monster on the opponent's side of the field back to the hand. That's very helpful. I'd probably take out YuGiOh from this deck and add that. And Safe Zone, if I could possibly put 2 Safe Zones in to protect Ronin Raccoon, I'd actually like to do that. But as I said, this deck is quite consistent the way it plays at the moment. So that's just wishful thinking to add a Safe Zone to the deck. But it really does protect your Ronin Raccoons, and it's going to be a hard time for your opponent to get over that. Because even if they do destroy Safe Zone, as long as another beast type, your Ronin Raccoon will not be destroyed by Safe Zone's effect. Just a couple plays to go through them with this deck. Those of you who are only here for the deck profile, you guys can close now. Thanks for watching. Anyone else wants to see how this deck plays? I'll show you a few plays right now as to how the deck works. So you guys can keep watching. Generally, you just normal summon this in your monster card zone. Its effect would let you search from your deck. Most of the time, I would pull out a Baby Raccoon Tantan, set it face down, because when Baby Raccoon Tantan is flipped, you get to special summon from your deck. And if I were to special summon, I would special summon Kalantosa and pop a card on the field. If you're not going to go with Tantan, you could easily go to a Nimble Momonga to bait out an attack, gain your 1000 life points, and special summon 2. Or, if you had a lot of problematic cards on the field, you could easily special summon a YuGiOh and face down defense. Again, get your opponent to attack, flip, destroy a card on the field, and then move 3. With regard to the magic card, Obedient School. Generally, I play Obedient School, bring out a Ponpoko, the Tantan, and the Kalantosa, and then normal summon a monster, and then easily overlay into 2 Ronin Raccoons and 9. They protect each other, then you can just detach and gain 2 tokens onto the field. Very helpful for doing a lot of damage quickly, especially if your opponent has a high attack monster, or if you have a high attack monster. With regards to other stuff, that's the general play for this deck. It's up to you who you're versing, exactly how you're going to do it. The other thing is, if you have cards in your graveyard, you can easily summon Junk Synchron and let you special summon a level 2, and then you can easily go into a level 5 or level 7. And I run 1 level 9, which is Miststorm, but generally I get out Junk Warrior quickly and do a lot of damage. So those are just a few plays that you could do with the deck. Again, it's entirely up to you who you're playing and exactly what you need to do. And hopefully you'll have fun with this deck if you are building it. It wasn't that expensive to build. Closed Forest was a bit expensive. But most of the other stuff was fairly cheap to add to this deck. Just a bit troublesome to get a hold of them. But hopefully you have fun with the deck. Again, shout out to Ojama for inviting me and allowing me to do this. As Dane is probably going to tell you after this, subscribe, like, and share this video. Thanks.
Okay guys, we'd like to thank Scruff for showing us his Raccoon deck. We'd also like to say thank you to all our subscribers and viewers. And please like, share and subscribe. This has been Ojama Kings.